This is a fellow trainer of mine, Dejante, and here he's going to help us show you how to get faster doing plyometrics. So the first thing you need to do before you do plyometrics is you need to warm up here. And warming up can be different for different people. So how you need to find out what you need to do for warming up is, first of all, you need to find out, do you have any muscle imbalances? If you have muscle imbalances, you should not do plyometrics. You should watch my playlist series on squat form, posture, and upper body assessments, and go through that to fix your muscle imbalances. And then once you fix that, then head into plyometrics. So the warm-ups you need to do is you need to dynamically stretch your muscles that used to be overactive. They shouldn't be overactive anymore, otherwise you would not be doing plyometrics. So for me, my hamstrings used to be overactive. So how I would dynamically stretch them out is through a concentric contraction of the antagonist, the hip flexors here. I would put that hip into flexion and then let it come back down like this. So it would be better here if I had a pole here to hang on to, but I just flex the hip like this with the hip flexors here, and this is how I would dynamically stretch out the hamstrings. Now, let's say you used to have tight hip flexors, you would dynamically stretch them out like this. So you would just put, it would be better here if we had something to hang on to, but you would just move that hip into extension like this, so you can stretch out the hip flexors. And then if you used to have overactive pecs, for a third example here, you would just horizontally abduct the shoulders using the rhomboids here to dynamically stretch out your pecs. I'll make more videos here on dynamic stretching, so you can find out what types of dynamic stretches you need to do for your warm-ups. So make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on those videos. Alright, now let's get into the actual plyometrics we're going to do here. So the first one you're going to do here is you're going to bound for length. So what this means here is you're going to just try to have as long of a stride as possible when you run here, but what you cannot do is you cannot heel strike, okay? You gotta try to get that length of your stride by just when you come here on the balls of your feet here, you need to just push off as hard as you can. So here I'm gonna go back here and down. So you can replay that and notice how I just pushed off as hard as I could. I did not heel strike. I landed right here on the balls of my feet. Alright, so now Dejante's going to demonstrate it here from the back angle. Okay, so what he's going to do here is he's going to have one foot out in front, about a foot further than the other, and then he's not going to take a back step like this. He's just going to push off as far as he can that way, and then push off as hard as he can with the other foot, and continue that to the cone. Ready, go. Alright, so notice here how he just pushes off as hard as he can and doesn't heel strike. So the next plyometric exercise we're going to do here is we're going to bound for height. So how you want to do this one is you want to push off, and when you push off you want to try to get as far as you can, but you also want to try to go for height too. So what this is going to do here is you're going to be producing as much force as possible when you're in greater degrees of hip flexion. Now, to make this happen and to accomplish the purpose here, you're going to need to land softly, because when you do this, when you land softly, you're going to get into a deeper degree of hip flexion here. So I'm going to go back here and demonstrate it. Alright, so that might not have been the best performance by me, but notice here how I got into a greater degree of hip flexion on the landing. I absorbed the landing here, and then when I pushed off, I tried to go as far and as high as I could. Now, Dejante is going to he did a great job landing on the balls of his feet, absorb the landing so he could push off as high and as far as he could in a greater degree of hip flexion, more than the previous one. All right, so the next one you're gonna do is skipping for length. So how you're gonna do this one is when you skip here, you're gonna go opposite arm and opposite leg. As you push off to move as far as you can here. So the purpose of this one here is to continue practicing pushing off one leg with a lot of force while practicing your form here. So when you run, you want the opposite knee and arm to move forward. Because if you have this leg and this arm go forward, you're going to be off balance here. So I'm going to head back there to demonstrate it. So notice how he pushes off here as hard as he can to get as much distance as possible per skip while doing the opposite arm as leg that goes forward. So like this. All right, so the next one we're going to do here is skipping for height. So with this one, it's going to help train your form because you're going to do opposite arm and opposite leg, while you're also going to practice coming out of greater degrees of hip flexion, because when you land from that height, you got to gently land, which will put you in a greater degree of hip flexion, and then you got to practice coming out of that hip flexion there again and go get as much height as you can. So to make things simple, what you're going to do here is push off to go as high as you can and try to get some distance too, and then the knee that goes up, the opposite arm moves. All right, so DeJounte's going to demonstrate it from the back side here. So ready, go. All right, so notice how he's getting as much height here as possible each time, pushing off with the opposite leg that moves up. That's the arm that you want to come out here too. All right, so the next one we're going to do here is A skips, and the purpose of this one is to just get your form down. So what you're just going to do here is you're basically just going to do a tiny skip, that opposite knee out here as this arm moves forward like this. So the purpose of this one's strictly on form. So you can do this one before you run, before you work out, just to get your form down right away in the beginning. All right, so I'm going to head back there to demonstrate. All right, so notice here how I just really focused on putting this opposite arm out as this leg goes up and that one back, and then this one out as that one, this one forward as that one went back. All right, so now DeJounte's going to demonstrate from the back. Okay, ready, go. All right, so notice there how he focused on the opposite arm as the leg that goes up here like this. All right, so the next one we're going to do here is B skips, and again, this one's only purpose here is for form, just like the A skips, and it's kind of similar here. You really focus on opposite arm as opposite leg, but you really want to focus on swiping that foot. So you're practicing doing this in a form of running, because when you run, that hip here goes from flexion to extension, and you swipe that foot back here like this on the balls of your foot to push off as far as you can. All right, so notice here how I practice swiping that foot through from here to here as this arm here went like that, and then same thing on this side. So now DeJounte is going to demonstrate this one from the back. All right, so notice here he's practicing doing that, swiping that hip back into extension as that foot one here might be very difficult to get the form down first, but you're going to need to practice this one a lot. The good thing here is it's not going to fatigue you much, so it won't. So you'll still be able to continue doing all your same training while spending hours practicing this one to get your form down. All right, so the next plyometric you're going to do here is a single leg bound. So what this one would look like here is you're just going to so let's say I'm doing this leg here, so you have to do one leg at a time. This leg would have to be off the ground the whole entire time, okay? And then with this leg, you're going to come into some hip flexion and push off, and then continue to push off each time in a row. So the purpose of this one here is to prevent you from heel striking when you run, because if you just do a normal bound for length, what's going to happen is you could possibly heel strike. And you can still easily balance while doing that. But with a single leg bound, if this leg's off, you cannot possibly stick that foot out and heel strike while balancing here. You would fall back that way if you heel strike. So I'm going to go back here and demonstrate how I do this. Alright, so notice how I just tried to get as much length as possible, and when I pushed off as far as I could, I didn't do like a step, like an extra step like that, and push off again. I just, right from landing, pushed off again, and I didn't let this foot at all touch the ground the whole entire time doing that. So this one might take a little bit of practice here. Certainly if you're a heel striker, definitely could be hard to get the form down. Now I'm going to have DeJounte demonstrate it. Yep, so ready, go. Alright, so notice how the foot that was off the ground, he kept that foot off the whole time, and then notice how he didn't take that extra step. He just pushed straight off here and then pushed straight off again. Alright, so all the plyometrics that we covered here so far had something to do when it comes to helping you with form or helping you with balance. So the last one we're going to do here is a single leg broad jump. So how you do this one here is you just be on one leg like this, push off as hard as you can, and then land on both feet. So basically it's just like doing one rep of the single leg bound, and then you're done. So again here, this one's purpose here is to strictly focus on power, unlike all the other ones that focused a lot on either form or balance. So what this one's going to look like here, you're going to start on one foot like this, you're going to load the hips like this, and then you're going to push off, and then land on 2 feet like this, and then just try to increase the distance. So here we're just focusing on how much power you can produce off one leg. Alright, so now DeJounte's going to demonstrate this one here from the back. Alright, so he starts right here. So he's going to start on one leg like that. He's going to load the hips. He's going to push off as far as he can, and then land on both legs like that.
What you shouldn't do is try not to lean forward when you do your landing, because then it'll mess your knees up. So you want to land more in a squat form than anything else. So you don't want to lean, you don't want to land forward like this, but you want to land forward like this and back into a squat.
Alright, so a quick recap of what we went through here is bounding for length, bounding for height, skipping for length, skipping for height, A skips, B skips, single leg bound, and then single leg broad jump. So some of these purposes are lean more towards power, some of them lean more towards improving your running form, and some of them lean more towards helping you with your balance. A key thing here to understand is you should not be doing these exercises here unless if you have a great foundation. To find that out, you you got to go to my squat form playlist series, my posture playlist series, and my upper body assessments playlist series, and watch the first videos in all those playlist series. And you got to have nothing at all wrong in each of those videos. So you gotta have there's tons of misfunctions you can have when it comes to form and posture, and you got to have nothing wrong. If you have something wrong, the later videos in the playlist series explains how to fix that. Alright, so make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel to fix your posture, fix your form, build a great foundation so you can get into these exercises, perform them with great form so you can run faster.